Welcome back. This is the 20th segment out of 25 segments where we are exploring evil and suffering and the concerns and the issues and the questions that surround these two realities. And let me give you a bottom line true statement. A person's worldview, that is how they believe the universe actually operates. A person's worldview, and everybody has a worldview, whether they're able to really sit down and describe it in detail for you. A person's worldview will determine what they think, the conclusions they draw, and thus how they respond in an effort to cope when impacted by evil and suffering. Now, at the heart of why I am a follower of Jesus is my conviction that the biblical worldview is the one and only accurate worldview. Some other worldviews out there may get kind of close, but the one that genuinely, truthfully, accurately, objectively represents how the universe operates is that worldview which is put forth in the Bible, with its theological assertions and its historical assertions and its assertions concerning personalities and our spiritual makeup, our relational makeups. Therefore, it's no surprise then that I think that the biblical worldview is going to give us the most comprehensive and cohesive understanding of the nature of evil and suffering and how we ought to respond to it. Because it's true, and the others aren't. So, what then is the biblical worldview? Well, a person can begin to get a pretty good handle on the answer to that question when realizing that the biblical worldview is constructed around four key events in history. Now, these events are labeled creation, corruption, redemption, and restoration. And each of these events will speak directly to our understanding of evil and suffering and will inform us as to how we ought to respond to these two realities. Creation, corruption, redemption, and restoration. So what do we mean by those right quickly? Creation. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. He created all that there is. And apart from him, there would not be anything other than himself. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth, including humans who were created in his image. And it was very good. But then came corruption. Humans decided that they would rebel against God, turn their back on his love for them. And as a result, corruption. The disease which is sin, entered the world and gave rise to the symptoms, sins, lying, cheating, stealing, killing, destroying, gave rise to these symptoms. And this most catastrophic event in all of history is often referred to as the fall. But the fall did not only impact humans in our relationships with God and with each other, but it also impacted the entire created order. Therefore, we have disease and natural disasters and death. We live in what is known as a fallen world. But ever since the fall took place, God has been moving toward taking the initiative to provide this third historical category, redemption. And the culmination of God's movement toward the redemption of his creation is seen in the life, the death, and the physical bodily resurrection of Jesus Christ, who came to seek and to save that which was lost, that which was fallen. And then the fourth, restoration, is what we are now looking forward to. The total, full restoration that will take place when Jesus comes back and he sets everything right. He puts it all back the way that it is supposed to be. So, here we have the historical context into which the realities of evil and suffering fall. Now, these four will give us a skeleton on which more information and understanding can be placed and fleshed out, if you will. Information which, if applied into our lives, will not only enable us to survive in a world of pervasive evil and suffering, not just survive, but to thrive. Now, how all of this fleshes out is going to be well worth exploring, and that's what we'll be doing in the next few segments.